Americans, 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 Americans.
Hey Burners, DC with you here on Bernie 2016 TV, a network for the 99. And here's your Bernie Blast for Wednesday, July 22nd, 2015. Just 474 days away from taking it back from the billionaires. Weekends with Bernie. On Saturday, Senator Sanders visited Netroots Nation, the yearly progressive activist conference, as part of a Western campaign swing through Arizona and Texas. Bernie had mixed responses in these states. Both he and Martin O'Malley seemed blindsided, if not a little perturbed, by the activists of the Black Lives Matter movement for calling for racial justice after Sandra Bland, Freddie Gray, Eric Garner, and so many more having died while in the hands of the police. Both candidates were unable to satisfy the protesters' call for solidarity and specific action addressing white supremacy. O'Malley made his day worse when he diluted their message, and Bernie's strong 50-year civil rights record and economic plans may not be enough to win African American support at this stage of the campaign. Joy Reid on The Ed Show had this to say.
NBC national correspondent, Joy, you first. How important is it to separate the economic and social and racial injustice that minorities in this country are faced with? It just seems like the complexities of this conversation are so much more complex now than they were back in 2008.
Yeah.
What do you make of it?
Well, they're more complex. In part, though, you just don't have an African-American candidate, obviously, that is there and who is expected to take these issues on directly. But I think for any of these candidates, whether or not there's an actual black candidate in the race, separating the racial and the broader economic dimensions is a moral imperative because these two things are very different. Even if you had the greatest jobs program in the world, that wouldn't stop African-Americans from getting discriminated against in the hiring process. Even if you had the best jobs program on earth and that could change the country economically, that wouldn't stop African Americans from being disproportionately killed by police. Bernie Sanders is trying to be a one-note candidate. He wants to just talk about the Elizabeth Warren issues. But you know what? The Democratic Party in the country is more complicated than that. And if he can't address these other issues, he is not going to be able to win.
Okay.
Reid concluded that all the candidates would be well served to expand the diversity of their campaign staff. On Salon.com, Bob Cesca writes, Sanders would do well to return to Netroots, next year anyway, and lean into the criticism. Until then, he can certainly make up lost ground on the issue by not shying away from digging into real, actionable solutions for race-based police violence. He absolutely has the capacity to electrify the conversation, and among the entire Democratic field, could be the go-to candidate on race. He just needs to try. Well, Bernie's weekend wasn't all bad, as you saw live all day here on Saturday on Bernie 2016 TV. Bernie was able to pull in quite a crowd to the conservative state of Arizona, breaking the record of any candidate running for president with 11,000 extremely enthused red state progressives. And there was no rest on Sunday for Sanders. Bernie visited liberal Texas, where the campaign reports 15,000 total supporters followed the Democratic Socialist to Dallas and Houston. So overall, I'd say Bernie didn't have too bad a weekend. And hopefully the independent senator will take the criticism from his Netroots experience and be able to win the hearts as well as the minds of everyone seeking racial justice and police accountability. I'm pretty sure that he will. Okay, Burners, this is your must-read of the week. H.A. Goodman, writing for The Hill, has a great piece on HRC's billionaire connections and Bernie's honesty, integrity, and his, let me be clear, I don't want money from billionaires stance. Read it, share it, and educate America on Bernie Sanders and his plans for the future of this great nation. This weekend, Bernie Sanders, in his message of taking it back from the billionaires, heads to NOLA on the 26th. And according to NOLA.com, no venue has been picked yet. Why pick one when you're going to get a bigger one anyway? Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your Republican family. Register to vote and learn more about Bernie Sanders. Not the president we deserve, but the one we need. And don't forget to register for an event on the 29th. This is the big one, folks. Can't wait to see what the mainstream media has to say about the official launch of the political revolution. I'll see you next time, Burners. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter, FeelTheBernTV. And check in every day right here on Bernie 2016 TV, a network for the 99, spreading the word of Bernie Man, taking back America from the billionaires. Now here's a great meme from PDX for Bernie and a Bernie Sanders remix by Maculate. Peace out.
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders.
You're a rock star.
The independent senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders.
Next president of the United States.
Proud to announce my candidacy for President of the United States of America. You can stand up and beat them with all the damn money. You're going to give hope to people all over America.
We need a political revolution.
Enough is enough. When people stand together, when people are prepared to fight back, there is nothing that cannot be accomplished. To the billionaire class,
because you can't stash your money in the Cayman Islands.
I say that your greed has got to end.
Stand up.
This great nation belongs to all of the people and not to a handful of billionaires.
The campaign is about a very radical idea. To tell the truth.
You can stand up and beat them with all the damn money. You're going to give hope to people all over America.
Fight is for the future of democracy in America.
This campaign is not about Bernie Sanders. It's not about Hillary Clinton. This campaign is about the needs of the American people.
The American people are profoundly disgusted. The country is going in the wrong direction.
When people begin to stand up and say enough is enough,
We have got to overturn Citizens United.
People stand together. When people are prepared to fight back, there is nothing that cannot be accomplished. To the billionaire class,
I think enough is enough.
next president of the United States, when people stand together, when people are prepared to fight back, there is nothing that cannot be accomplished. To the billionaire class,
I think enough is enough.
I say that your greed has got to end. This great nation belongs to all of the people and not to a handful of billionaires.
Do not underestimate Bernie Sanders. You're in this race to win.
There's a major political force in this country. It is the billionaire party led by people like the Koch brothers. And want to know why people are angry?
CEOs make more than 500 times of what their workers make. The middle class is shrinking. We have the greatest gap between the rich and the poor of any industrialized nation. And this is an economy that is improving. I hate to see what would happen if our economy was sinking. Does any of this matter to you? You give one whit of concern to the middle class and working families of this country. That's my question. The country clubs and the cocktail parties are not real America. The millionaires and billionaires are the exception to the rule. It doesn't matter.
Now, who are those members of Congress elected with the help of billionaires going to be represented? You're going to be a paid employee for the billionaire class.
we do not change this country unless there is a political revolution, there is a radical change in consciousness.
We have got to ask ourselves, do we want a political system in which a handful of billionaires can buy and sell members of the United States Congress?
I am prepared to take on the billionaire class.
What we have got to do is mobilize the American people. I'm not going to get a whole lot of support from billionaires. I don't want their support. I don't need their support. I don't have a super PAC. They hate my guts, and I welcome their hatred because I'm on your side.
We have got to overturn Citizens United.
When people stand together, when people are prepared to fight back, there is nothing that cannot be accomplished. To the billionaire class,
I think enough is enough.